You know, in this world of endless notifications, endless noise, have you ever just stopped and wondered where you can find some real, genuine peace? Well, it turns out the answer might just be hiding in a poem written over 700 years ago in Korea. So let's dive into this amazing piece of wisdom together and see what we can uncover. What we're looking at is a poem called Yeon-geo, written by a scholar official from the Goryeo dynasty named Paek I-jeong. The title itself, Yeon-geo, tells you everything. It means living comfortably at ease. It's basically an invitation, right? A call to step away from all the chaos and find a quieter, more meaningful way to live. So that's the big question, isn't it? What does being at peace truly mean? Well, this ancient poem doesn't just talk about peace in some abstract way. Believe it or not, it actually gives us a kind of 4-step guide to finding it. And you're going to be surprised by how relevant it still is today. So, our journey into this poem kicks things off, as it so often does, at home. The poet starts by describing his physical space, and you'll see how it's a perfect mirror for his inner state of mind. All right, here's our first line, written in the original Hanja characters. In Korean, you'd read this as Wae-ok 십주요. Now let's break down what this actually means, piece by piece. Okay, so first up, we have Wae, which means short or low. Then you have ok, which means house. Put them together, Wae-ok, and you get this immediate picture of a small, low-roofed, very humble home. And this isn't a complaint, it's just a simple statement of fact. Next up is the word soljo, and this is such a key concept. It doesn't mean lonely or empty. Think more like a peaceful seclusion. You know that kind of deep quiet where you can finally hear yourself think? That's soljo. It's a really beautiful idea. So, just how small are we talking? The poem says "sip-yu," which means a little over 10 ju. A ju was an old unit of measurement, roughly 31 centimeters, so his entire home was just a bit over 3 meters wide. To put that in perspective, that's about 10 feet. I mean, we are talking tiny. So, you put it all together, and the first line is, "My small house is quiet and solitary, a little over 10 ju in size." The key thing to get here is that this isn't about being poor. This is a deliberate choice. It's about the virtue of contentment, or jijok, in Korean. It's about finding real freedom in just having enough. Okay, so we've got the scene, this small, quiet house. But what does the poet actually do in there? The next line tells us exactly how he uses this space to cultivate wisdom. All right, line 2. It's read, 편안하게靜讀聖人書. And every single part of this line describes a very specific, very mindful action. So he's doing 3 things. First, banyang, which is burning incense. This is to purify the space and, clear the mind. Second, jangdok, which means reading quietly. This isn't just skimming for fun, it's about deep, focused understanding. And what's he reading? 성인서, the books of the great sages. So you see, this isn't about escaping boredom. It's about intentional self-improvement. All right, get ready, because this next line, this is really the philosophical heart of the entire poem. It packs this powerful, almost paradoxical punch about where true virtue actually comes from. Let's look at line 3. In Korean, 짜장인 작생 촌작. This whole line pivots on 2 huge concepts that we have to understand, injak and chonjak. So what are these? On the left, you've got injak, or human rank. Think of this as all the external stuff. Your job title on LinkedIn, how much money you make, your social status, the whole shebang. And on the right, you have chonjak, or heavenly rank. This is your inner world, your character, your integrity, your sincerity, the stuff that really matters. Now, traditionally, the thinking from guys like the philosopher Mencius was pretty straightforward. You should focus all your energy on cultivating your heavenly rank, your character, and then worldly success, your human rank, would just kind of follow naturally. But here's where our poet Paek I-jeong does something completely radical. He flips this idea on its head. He says his heavenly rank was born from his human rank. I mean, think about it. This guy was a statesman. He had a public job. He's not running off to a monastery to be virtuous. He's saying, I found my integrity while serving in government. I stayed true to myself in the middle of all the pressures of the real world. Okay, so we have this simple home, this quiet study, and this commitment to virtue in the real world. So what happens? What's the payoff for all this work? The final line tells us everything, and man, it's beautiful. The last line is 정욕줄이 밀전소, and this line holds an absolutely stunning metaphor that just perfectly captures the feeling of achieving inner peace. The first word here is 정욕. This is a great word. It's basically all that stuff that churns inside of us. The worldly desires, ambitions, passions, cravings, all the things that create that inner noise and cause us turmoil. And here's the brilliant metaphor. He compares his mind to a churim, an autumn forest. Day by day, that's Yeon-geo. His desires become more distant, more sparse, just like watching leaves fall from the trees in autumn. It's not this big, violent struggle. It's a natural, quiet, peaceful letting go. So powerful. So, what does all this mean for us? Right now, 700 years later, what can this poem really teach us about finding our own Yeon-geo, our own comfortable ease in this crazy modern world? Well, the poem lays out a surprisingly clear path. Step 1, embrace simplicity. Find contentment in what you already have. Step 2, cultivate stillness. Make real time for quiet, focused reflection. Step 3, seek true virtue, your heavenly rank in whatever it is you do. And the result? Step 4, you find freedom, as all those clinging, worldly desires just naturally start to fade away. When you boil it all down, this poem is a masterclass in timeless wisdom. It's reminding us of the power of jijok, which is contentment, 성실, sincerity, 겸손, humility, and finally 평온, that deep, profound inner peace that comes from a life lived with real integrity. And look, this isn't about becoming a hermit or retreating from the world. It's about how we live within it. So the question I really want to leave you with is this. What is one small way, in your work, in your home, or even just inside your own mind, that you can cultivate your heavenly rank today?